Good morning, students.
Morning.
Okay. So we were discuss about the vectors, arithmetic operation over vectors and all. But the real title of this chapter is motion in a plane. So today we are going to discuss the topic motion in a plane and what are the terms associated with the motion of an object if it is travel in a two-dimension and all. Okay, so that is what is actually the title of the chapter. But in the initial sessions or in the beginning session, we were discuss about the vectors. Because we need the component vectors in order to describe the motion of an object in a plane. Because if we are consider the motion of an object in a plane, it is a two-dimensional case. So we need to consider the magnitude and the direction of the object which is in motion. So that is why we make a detailed explanation and the derivations about the vectors, its arithmetic operations, and some examples regarding with it. So today we are going to discuss about the topic motion in a plane. So what do you mean by plane? So first of all, we can start our discussion by considering plane. What do you mean by plane? What do you mean by plane? Or what do you mean by motion of an object in a plane? What is the difference between motion in a straight line and motion in a plane?
Motion in plane is along two dimension.
Yes. Motion in a plane means we need two dimensions or two axes in order to describe the exact position of an object. And what about the motion in a straight line? Does we need two axes in order to describe the exact position? At least it is not a statue competition and all. So unmute and say, does we need any other axis? One more axis is needed to describe the motion of an object in a straight line. If the object is moving in a straight line, no. We need either x-axis or y-axis or z-axis. Any one of the axes is needed to describe the motion of an object in a straight line. But if you are consider it is in a plane, we need two axes or two dimension in order to describe the exact position or location of an object. Okay, so today we are going to discuss about the motion of an object in a two-dimensional surface. We explained or we discussed earlier some of the example or some cases that come under the motion of an object in a plane. Suppose if you just imagine if it is a blackboard, if an ant is moving through it, it's a two-dimensional motion. Here we need both axes. It can be either x or y or x or z or y or z. We need two axes in order to describe the exact location or the position of an object. Okay, so today we are going to discuss about the two-dimensional motion of an object and the terms associated with that of the two-dimensional motion or the motion of an object in a plane. So all of you write the next heading, motion in a plane. Motion in a plane. Write the definition by yourself. What do you mean by motion in a plane? The movement of an object along a two-dimensional surface is known as motion in a plane. The movement of an object along a two-dimensional surface is known as motion in a plane. Here we need two axes. Here we need two axes to describe the exact location or position of an object. Here we need two axes to describe the exact location or position of an object. It can be either XY axis or XZ axis or YZ axis. The movement of an object along a two-dimensional surface is known as motion in a plane. And here we need two axes in order to describe the motion of an object or the movement of an object, that is either XY axis or XZ or YZ axis. Is it over? Over.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then write the next subheading, terms associated with planar motion of an object or terms associated with motion in a plane. Terms associated with motion in a plane. While we are discussing or we are discussed about the straight line motion of an object, we describe some terms associated with the rectilinear motion of an object or the straight line motion of an object, such as distance, displacement, velocity, acceleration, instantaneous acceleration, average acceleration, speed, and all. Similarly, here we are just to convert all these terms, or we are going to describe all these terms according with that of the motion of an object in a plane. What about the equation becomes, what about the unit vectors are regarding with that of the motion of an object in a plane. So the terms associated with motion in a plane, one is position, velocity, and the third one, acceleration. So here we consider mainly these three terms in order to describe the motion of an object in a plane. We don't need to consider separately the distance, displacement and all, or the speed and all. So as a common, we consider it as the position. By the term position, we indicates both the distance and displacement of the particle. And by the term velocity, we indicates the speed also. But here actually we need the vector quantity. That is why we are not considering the speed. Because speed is a scalar quantity, velocity is a vector quantity. We need the vector components in this chapter. So the terms associated with the motion of an object in a plane, they are position, velocity, and acceleration. So here we are going to describe each term one by one. So the first one is position. First term associated with the motion of an object in a plane is position. Position vector. Position vector. Instead of writing simply the position, here you can write position vector. It describes or it gives the exact location of an object. It describes or gives the exact location of an object. And it is denoted by vector R. So position vector is a vector that gives the exact location of an object. It is denoted by vector R. Such that vector R is equal to xi cap plus yj cap. Here we need two axes in order to describe the exact location of an object, exact position of an object. And the position vector is denoted by vector r, such that the equation for calculating the position is given by vector r is equal to xi cap plus yj cap. Such that the position vector is given by vector r is equal to xi cap plus yj cap. Okay, so we can explain this with the help of an example. Let us suppose we consider a movement of a car, or if we are moving from home to school. Okay, we need two axes in order to describe the exact position. Here we have the x-axis, here we have the y-axis. Okay, so suppose you are starting your journey from this origin. You are moving from here to here. Then the position of the car or you, that is from here at a time t, after a time t1, your position is given by p1. Again, you are moving to a school, it is here, t2. So after at a time, another time t2 or t dash, your position is at p2. So we can join this position from this origin and we can mark it as OAB. And here this OA represents the position from O to P1. It is represented by a position vector R1. And OB represents your position with respect to origin. It is the position vector. We have already discussed the position vector and that of the displacement vector. So the position vector of OA means the position of an object from O to P1. It is represented by OA and the corresponding position vector is vector R1. Then after sometimes your position at time T2 is given as P2. So OB represents the position vector, that is it is the distance from origin to the position P2, and the corresponding position vector is R2, vector R. And this P1 minus P2 or P2 minus P1 is the displacement in their position. The change in displacement, it is given by delta R. Okay. So the position vector is given by vector R is equal to xi cap plus yj cap. That is the component along the x-axis plus the component along the y-axis. In order to describe the exact position of an object, we need two components or we need two axes in order to describe the motion of an object in a two-dimensional surface. Suppose if you are consider if the object is traveling or it start its journey from origin, after a time t1, its position is at p1. So here we need the two components in order to describe the exact position of an object. That is x-axis, the component along the x-axis. Suppose we can take it as x1 I cap and the component along the y-axis, that is y2 j cap. So y1 j cap. So the position vector with respect to r1 cap is equal to x1 I cap plus yj cap, y1 j cap. Similarly, we can find out the position vector corresponding to the next position. After a time interval t2, the position of the object is set to p2. After a time t2, the position of the object is p2. Here also we need two components to describe the exact position of an object. One is along the x-axis, we can take it as x2 I cap plus another one is corresponding to y-axis, that is y2 j cap. Y2 j cap. Okay. So here we have two position vectors. The first one is corresponding to time t1. For a particular time interval t1, the position vector is given by vector r1 is equal to x1 I cap plus y1 j cap. Here also we need two axes in order to describe the exact position of an object. One is along the x-axis and other is along the y-axis. Now in the second case, after a time interval t2, the position of the object is at p2. Here also we need two components in order to describe the exact position. One is along the x-axis, which is taken as x2 I cap, and the other is along the y-axis, it is taken as y2 j cap. So here we have two position vectors. Vector r1 is equal to x1 I cap plus y1 j cap. Position vector r2 is equal to x2 I cap plus y2 j cap. So my question is this: what about their displacement vectors? Displacement in the position of the object. Delta r, difference in their position. How we can calculate the difference in their position? Displacement means?
Vector R2 minus vector R1.
Yes, vector r2 minus vector r1. Okay, the position vector is given by vector r1 and vector r2. Here we have two different position is there, p1 and p2. We are writing the position vectors corresponding to two different position p1 and p2. Position vector corresponding to p1 is given by vector r1 is equal to x1 I cap plus y1 j cap. Position vector corresponding to p2 is given by vector r2 is equal to x2 I cap plus y2 j cap. Then we need to find out the displacement vector. Displacement means difference in their final position and initial position. It is given by vector r2 cap minus vector r1 cap. Then what is vector r2 cap minus vector r1 cap? The displacement vector is given by S. Delta r is equal to r2, vector r2 minus vector r1. That is equal to vector r2 minus vector r1 is equal to, what is vector r2?
X2 I cap plus y2 j cap
x2 I cap plus y2 j cap
minus x1 I cap plus y1 j cap.
x1 I cap plus y1 j cap. That is equal to x2 I cap plus y2 j cap minus x1 I cap minus y1 j cap. Here we just take this negative sign inside the bracket. So it becomes x2 I cap plus y2 j cap minus x1 I cap minus y1 j cap. Now just try to arrange the equation. It becomes x2 minus x1 into I cap plus y2 minus y1 into j cap. And what is x2 minus x1? x2 minus x1. x2 minus x1 can be, it is a small distance, the difference between the two positions. It is delta x I cap plus y2 minus y1 is delta y j cap. So we get a final expression like this. Delta r is equal to delta x I cap plus delta y j cap. Okay. So once again, I will explain all these things. So here we are starting from position vector. Position vector is represented by, or it is denoted by vector r. It is a general statement. Position vector is denoted by vector r. Okay, and we need, in order to describe the exact position, we need at least two components. One is along the x-axis and other is along the y-axis. In order to describe it in detail, we consider the movement of an object, that is from home to church or home to school, anything else. Okay, so here we consider the movement of an object in a plane or in a two-dimensional area. For that, we consider the two axes, x-axis and y-axis. Object start its journey from origin. After a time interval t1, the position of the object is set to p1. Okay. After a time interval t1, the position of the object is p1. Again, it is traveling. Then, after a time interval t2, the position of the object is set to p2. We are already discussed about the position vector and the displacement vector in our previous class. So here the distance between the position and that of the origin gives the position vector. You just turn the pages and find out the definition for position vector. What do you mean by position vector? It is the difference between position and that of the origin. So here we have the position P1 and here the origin. So the difference between the position P1 and that of the origin gives position vector. Position vector corresponding to this origin and P1 is taken as R1. And we know that if it is a position vector, we need two axes in order to describe the position of an object. One is taken along the x-axis and other is along the y-axis. They are taken as x1 I cap plus y1 j cap. First one is the component along the x-axis. The second one is the component along the y-axis. Similarly, the position of an object after a time interval t2 is at p2. Again, the position vector is given by the difference between the origin and that of the particular position P2. Okay, so the difference between origin and that of that particular position P2 gives the position vector R2. Position vector corresponding to this position vector is R2. So vector R2 is equal to, here also we need two components. One is along the x-axis and other is along the y-axis. It is given by x2 I cap plus y2 j cap. So here we get two independent equations. One is the position along the position vector corresponding to first position. The second one is position vector corresponding to the second position. R2 cap. Okay. So here we get vector R1 and vector R2 separately. So we can calculate the displacement vector. What is the definition for displacement vector? Displacement vector is the difference between the two position. It is between the difference between final position and that of the initial position. So that is P2 minus P1. That is what is known as delta R. Okay, delta R is the displacement vector. So the displacement vector is given by the equation delta R is equal to R2 minus R1. Position vector corresponding to P2 and the position vector corresponding to P1. So delta R is equal to vector R2 minus vector R1. Then in the next step, we just substitute all the values. R2 is given by x2 I cap plus y2 j cap minus R1 is given by x1 I cap plus y1 j cap. Okay. Then we just open the bracket or take this negative sign into this bracket. It becomes x2 I cap plus y2 j cap minus x1 I cap minus y1 j cap. Then we just rearrange the equation. We arrange the components of the unit vector I together and that of the j together. It becomes x2 minus x1 I cap plus y2 minus y1 j cap. Then x2 minus x1 means it is the difference in their position along the x coordinate. So it is taken as delta xi. Then y2 minus y1 gives the difference in their position with respect to y coordinate. It is given by delta y. Okay. By this term delta, we indicates a small difference. It is the difference. This delta indicates the difference. That is why here we are using delta R. Delta R is equal to R2 minus R1. Similarly, delta X indicates X2 minus X1. Delta Y indicates Y2 minus Y1. Therefore, our equation becomes position vector delta R is equal to delta x I cap plus delta y j cap. Okay, and this equation is represents the change in the position along the x-axis and that of the y-axis. Change in the position of an object with respect to x-axis and the y-axis. So that's all about the position vector. So the change in the position vector is given by the equation delta r is equal to delta xi cap plus delta yj cap. This is the equation for position vector. Change in position vector is given by delta r is equal to delta x I cap plus delta y j cap. You don't need to study the derivation steps. Try to study the final equation for doing the calculations. No need to study the derivation step. Okay. So delta r cap is equal, delta vector r is equal to delta x I cap plus delta y j cap. Difference in position vector. This equation gives difference in position vector along x-axis and y-axis. Difference in position vector along x-axis and y-axis. So this is the first term associated with that of the motion of an object in a two-dimensional surface. So first term is position vector. It gives the or it describes the exact location or position of an object. In order to describe the exact location or position, we need the component along the x-axis and y-axis. Okay, since it is a two-dimensional surface, we need to consider the two axes in order to describe the position. So vector delta r is equal to delta vector r is equal to delta xi cap plus delta y j cap. Now the second term associated with that of the motion in a plane is velocity. The second term associated with the motion of an object in a two-dimensional area or two-dimensional surface is given by velocity. Velocity vector, velocity vector. It is denoted by, how we are denote the velocity vector? Unmute and say it is denoted by
V.
V, vector V. Put an arrow mark over the letter V. So that is what is known as velocity vector, vector V. It is denoted by vector V. It gives the velocity of an object moving in a plane. It gives the velocity of an object that moving in a plane. So the first term is position vector. It gives the exact position of an object when it is moving along a plane. The second term associated with the motion of an object in a plane is velocity vector. It is denoted by vector V and it gives the velocity of an object that moves in a plane. Write the next subheading under this velocity vector, average velocity. First subheading, average velocity. Average velocity. It is the ratio of displacement of a body. It is the ratio of displacement of a body to the time taken. It is the ratio of displacement of a body to the time taken. It is denoted by V bar. The average velocity is denoted by V bar. Or you can use V average and put an arrow mark over that letter V average. Both are right. Average velocity. Velocity is a vector quantity. It has both magnitude and direction. So average velocity is denoted by V bar or V average vector. Vector V average. It is the ratio of displacement to that of the time taken. Therefore, average velocity V bar is equal to displacement divided by time taken. Displacement vector divided by time taken. Velocity vector V bar is equal to displacement vector divided by time taken. Okay. Then students, can you say what about our displacement vector from the previous case? V bar is equal to displacement vector divided by time taken. What is the displacement vector here?
Delta R by T.
Yeah. Delta R divided by T, time taken. So from the previous case, we know that the displacement vector is given by the difference between the position P1 and P2. It is denoted by delta R. It is denoted by delta R. So average velocity is equal to V bar is equal to delta R divided by T. Again, average velocity V bar is equal to what is delta R? Delta R vector R. Position vector, change in position.
Plus delta y j cap.
Yeah, delta x I cap plus delta y j cap divided by T. Average velocity V bar is equal to delta x I cap plus delta y j cap by T. Or we can write average velocity V bar is equal to delta x I cap by T plus delta y j cap by T. Okay. Or the average velocity V bar is equal to delta x by T I cap. Delta x by T I cap means it is the average velocity along the x-axis. That is V bar x I cap plus. Similarly, delta y by T is represents average velocity along the y-axis. So it is represented by V by Vi bar j cap. So average velocity V bar is equal to Vx I cap, Vx bar I cap plus V by bar j cap. Therefore, the final expression becomes, we can write, put it in a box. V bar is equal to, put the final equation in a box. V bar is equal to Vx I cap, V bar Ix I cap plus Vy bar j cap. This is the equation for calculating the average velocity. And the direction of average velocity is same as that of the direction of displacement. Write one more point under this subheading. Direction of average velocity is same as that of direction of displacement. So the direction of the average velocity and that of the direction of displacement will be the same. So here we are discussing the second term associated with the motion in a plane, that is velocity vector. It is represented by vector v. Velocity vector is used to describe the velocity of an object that is moving in a plane. And the first subheading is average velocity. Average velocity is the total displacement divided by time taken. Displacement by time taken. And from this case, we know that the displacement is given by, displacement vector is given by delta r divided by time taken. So since it is a position vector or a displacement vector, we need two components to describe the location of an object, that is along the x and y axis. So the equation becomes v bar is equal to delta x I cap plus delta y j cap by t. Then we just separate the equation, so it will become delta x by t I cap plus delta y by t j cap. So then the velocity component along the x-axis is taken as vx bar I cap, and the velocity component along the y-axis is given by vy bar j cap. And one more point, the direction of average velocity is same as that of the direction of the displacement. Now write the next subheading under this topic, velocity vector. Next subheading is instantaneous velocity vector. Instantaneous velocity vector. What do you mean by instantaneous velocity? The definitions are almost the same. What do you mean by instantaneous velocity?
Velocity of an object at a particular.
Yes, it's the velocity of an object at a particular instant of time. And we write one equation corresponding to instantaneous velocity in the case of motion of an object in a straight line. Okay, what is the, can you recall that equation? Instantaneous velocity, V instantaneous is equal to equation for calculating the
0 delta v by delta t.
yes, limit t tends to 0, delta
Delta v by delta t.
is it delta v by delta t? Velocity, instantaneous velocity. Velocity
Delta.
means rate of change of position. It is not v. Yes, Aditya. I think we are using the term x, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So here we are using the position vector as r. So instead of x, we can write limit t tends to 0, delta x divided by delta t. Sorry, not x, delta r. Delta r divided by delta t. Instantaneous velocity vector. Vector instantaneous is equal to limit t tends to 0. The equation is the same. Delta r by delta t. Difference in their position or the displacement with respect to the time. Or instantaneous velocity vector is equal to, instead of this the limit t tends to 0, we can write dr by dt. Instantaneous velocity vector is equal to dr by dt. It is not bar, put an arrow mark over the instantaneous velocity. Instantaneous velocity vector is equal to dr by dt. Change in their position with respect to time. By the term position, we indicates both the displacement and distance. So instantaneous velocity vector is equal to dr by dt. Again, we can write instantaneous velocity. As we write, it is dr by dt. What is r represents r? That is equal to d by dt of. Here we have vector r.
Position vector.
This is the position vector. And what is the equation for calculating the position vector r? Position vector r is equal to, or you just imagine delta r. Here we have, we can use the same equation. Limit delta t tends to 0, delta r divided by t. Equation for delta r divided by delta t. Equation for calculating the instantaneous velocity. That is equal to limit delta t tends to 0. What is delta r? Delta r,
Displacement vector.
displacement vector. That is delta xi cap plus delta yj cap divided by delta t. Limit delta t tends to 0, change in displacement with respect to time taken. Delta r is delta xi cap plus delta yj cap divided by delta t. Or that is equal to limit delta t tends to 0, delta x divided by delta t I cap, plus we just split the term into 2. Again, limit delta t tends to 0, delta y divided by delta t I cap, sorry, j cap. J cap is a unit vector along the y-axis. Okay, so here we get instantaneous velocity. V instantaneous bar is equal to limit delta t tends to 0, delta x divided by delta t I cap plus limit delta t tends to 0, delta y divided by delta t j cap. That is equal to, instead of this limit delta t tends to 0 delta, we can write dx by dt, dx by dt I cap plus, instead of this limit delta t tends to 0 delta, we can write dy by dt j cap. So instantaneous velocity equal to dx by dt I cap plus dy by dt j cap, or we can write instantaneous velocity is equal to dx by dt means rate of change of position of an object with respect to x-axis. It is vx I cap plus, similarly the rate of change of position with respect to y-axis vy j cap. This is the general expression for calculating the instantaneous velocity vector. Instantaneous velocity vector is equal to vx I cap plus vy j cap. Okay. Is the time?